Hello friends, so this is going to be probably our final Sashiko-A-Long video. I won't say that for sure, but it's likely. Not that I won't talk about more Sashiko, just this is probably the last one with the bunny towel thing. And that's because I have stitched all but my very last line, which I saved so I could do it on video with you. Oh, and Charlie Cat has now joined me, so oh yeah, there's the tail in the video. We'll try to keep the cat hair off of this. Anyway, so I have stitched all the way through. So there we go. There's my Sashiko. Oh, that's a lovely shot. Oh well, my Sashiko bunny towel. And all I have left is just this very last line. Then I can go ahead and secure my tail. And Charlie, stop it! He's trying to get on my lap while I do this. Just lay right there. Can you lay beside me, sir? Sir Kitty Cat, can you just lay right here? How about you just lay here? Yeah, that would be really nice. Thank you. I love my cats. I really do. Most of the time. Sort of like my child. Anyway, so all I have left is just that one little line. And I'm going to go ahead and get that stitched. And then I do have quite a bit of floss left. So if you were making this kit, I don't know if you can see, but there's a lot of floss left. So you could potentially go ahead and pick up another kit that didn't have floss, or you could grab some fabric and do some designing of your own. We do have a lot of stencils, so I do, I get the, I think it's the number 1 and number 2, stencils number 1 and number 2. Anyway, and those can be used, of course, to then make your own Sashiko-A-Long or Sashiko Stitchy, whatever you want to make. Charlie, honey, quit. So anyway, I am, yeah, just finishing up my little stitchy. And I was talking with Tina, and she said that traditionally, if you were doing Sashiko, you would do it from the back, and you would mark the back, which does kind of make sense, but because we have kits, we stitch on the front, because that's where the printing is. I'm not sure how you would stitch on the back. And of course, your goal is always to make your embroidery look as good on the front as it looks on the back. Mine is not terrible, but also not what I would call fantastic. Not what I would call fantastic. And I did see, I don't know, I was watching a video somewhere that showed someone stitching, and she was stitching in towards herself and claiming that that was like how the Japanese do Sashiko. But I'm not sure if that's true or not, because why would you have these thimbles, and why would they be a thing like for your palm? I mean, how would you like stitch in? I don't know. I need to research this a little more, because that was definitely not something that I expected. But anyway, there we go. Final line, all done. So all done on the front, all done on the back. Now the back doesn't look terrible. You know, it's not horrible, but definitely doesn't look quite as good as the front. I did try to stick to the very traditional method of Sashiko, where you do, he made it on my lap, by the way, where you do, I totally lost my train of thought, hang on. Traditional Sashiko, yeah, where you stitch all of your threads that go in one direction, and then you come back in and stitch all of your threads in the opposite direction, and then you would come in and do the diagonals. So usually you do horizontals and verticals first, and then you come back in and do any diagonals. So there we go. I'm all cut off. I'm all finished. There it is. Now it can get cat fur on it. He's less impressed with that now. And hopefully you have enjoyed our stitch along and the talks that we've been having as we do it. I do still need to wash and dry and just give this a little press. And Tina said something about how she didn't wash hers, and I said, well, I'm going to wash it because I want to see if the printing comes off, because I actually don't know. I have no idea if the printing comes off. This is the first one that I've made, and so I want to wash it just to see if I think the printing should come off. I don't know. I'm going to try it. So I guess we might have a follow-up to Sashiko. But there we go. It's all stitched. I love how it turned out. I love my bunnies. I could have been a little more consistent on some of my stitching because some of this I did very quickly while we were on video, and some of it I did while I was at Fiber U. So, you know, I didn't do this because I wanted the perfect piece. I did it because I just wanted to stitch. I just wanted to stitch. And that is the beautiful thing about Sashiko, is because it has that running stitch and the pre-printed fabric, there's a lot less to think about. It's a little bit like picking up a knitting pattern or a crochet pattern or an embroidery pattern, whatever. It's not that I don't enjoy creating new things, but sometimes I want to follow something someone else has already made and the kit's already put together. And I don't have to think really hard. I can just do it and enjoy my crafting. That's part of why I love all of the tatting books, especially the Japanese tatting books, so much, because I don't have to think very hard about it. I can just pick one up, pick a pattern, and do it. I struggle doing that with knitting because I always feel like I should be creating new patterns because that's a thing that I do. But yeah, so I haven't been knitting as much lately either because I feel a need, if I'm going to be knitting, to be designing a new pattern, and that's like a lot of pressure. And I know it's pressure that I'm creating for myself. It's not pressure that you people are putting on me. It's my own pressure from my own brain and my own like thinky I should be doing this because this is what I do. And so sometimes I struggle to knit because I feel like I should be designing at the same time. And I have not really had design space in my brain. It's very hard for me to get back to that creative space because Ina takes up so much of my energy, and I'm very much an introverted person. I know on these videos I probably appear very extroverted, and if you see me in person I can come across as very extroverted, but I need a lot of introvert recharge time. So something that as a rabbit judge that the exhibitors always struggled with was I don't go out with exhibitors at night after a show. I want to go back to the hotel room and basically just sit there and veg out. And sometimes I don't want you to talk to me. I don't really like to be talked to in the mornings. I am not a morning person. I want to get up and I kind of want some quiet time. And Ina gets up and the first thing that she wants to do is just talk. And it takes a lot of my emotional battery to take care of that every day. And because of that, I just don't have the design space in my head anymore. And it makes it hard for me to knit. It really does. I know, isn't that a weird thing to admit to, but it makes it really hard for me to knit. But that's why I really enjoy doing things like this, making the Mediterranean knotted lace. I don't feel as much pressure there. And I like tatting, but I don't feel as confident in designing tatting. And so that's why I tend to gravitate towards patterns from other people. I'm growing a little bit in that. I have some ideas and I'm going to branch out a little bit more and try things, especially because I bought some pre-prepped cyanotype fabric squares. I could have done it myself, but I just decided I would get the pre-cut squares to start with. Well, they're rectangles, whatever. It's pre-cut fabric. Because I'm going to teach a class next year at IOLI, and so I need to do some experimentation. So we'll be talking more about cyanotyping and fabric and some of the things that I'm learning about, a couple of books about it. And then, of course, I'm very confident in my stitching, but I'm going to make some things that I can use as part of my cyanotype adventure. So anyway, but there we go. Sashiko, all done, at least the stitching part. So that does end our series. This is what, episode 8 maybe, on our Sashiko series. I will be looking at short rows and Celtic tatting soon because I do need to get those done, because they're on our list. They're on our list of all of these like crafty things that we're going to do. It's Crafty 2023, so I have to get some of those things done. And lots of fun things are coming up as well with us. I'm going to put an ad in Piecework for the shop, which will be a lot of fun. And we're talking about possibly doing a sponsorship with their new magazine and website with the wholesale side of our business, so that could be fun as well. And I did pull colors to maybe start working on a, ooh, there's a wasp, sorry, on a colorwork cowl. So lots of fun stuff is coming up. I'm hoping to get back to some design space, especially once I get Ina off to school regularly again, so that I have that time in my mornings to have my quiet space and my thinky space. I'm also teaching with the Lace Museum, so I do have an intermediate class coming up. I thought it was in August. It's in September. So it's in September. And I finally got the dates and the classes set for our lace retreat for 2023 up in Baraboo, Wisconsin at my friend Linda's craft center, which is 8th and East Craft Retreat. And all of the information is up on the website now if you want to go check that out. There will be more information kind of coming out as I continue. I will do a whole YouTube just about what we're going to do, and I kind of scaled it back from last year, so I'm just teaching classes. I will have a pop-up shop. You're on your own for meals and fun stuff, but you can stay at the retreat if you want to. Lauren will be there to help me. Tina's not coming this year, but if it goes well, if there's enough of you that would like to come join me for classes, and I'm doing lots of beginning classes, so I understand it may not be quite right for this audience, but I'm doing lots of beginning classes, so maybe it is. Then hopefully Tina will be able to be a part of it next year as well. So anyway, thank you so much for hanging on for all of that while we got through it. I'm going to take my Sashiko bunny. I'm going to go look at my books and think about how I want to wash this. And we will talk more about that in sort of a general Sashiko and finishing video another time. But that is kind of the end of our Sashiko-A-Long. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you've had fun stitching. Don't forget, if you really want a specific video, you can always let me know. And make sure that you have followed us, liked, subscribed to YouTube, Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, the newsletter. That way you find out all the fun stuff all the time. I am trying to remember to post more often, and yeah, and I will see you guys later. So thank you so much for joining me. Bye.